I'm ready to start seaming the shoulders together. So what I did was I had this needle in all of the stitches, and then what I used was these stitch holders. You don't need to use stitch holders. You could use an old circular needle or a piece of string or anything really to temporarily hold the one side of the shoulders while you work on the other. So this is the inside of the center front, and I'll show you. You can see that I weaved in the tails there before I sewed, and then when I steek, I'll have a nice clean area. So I put these on stitch holders, and this side I pulled the needle through so that both needles are facing the same direction. And the side that I finished on, where I ended, I left a long strand of yarn. You might still have your ball of yarn attached, but whatever side you ended on, it's easier to do the 3 needle bind off on that side first. So you already have the yarn attached. You're gonna need a 3rd needle, and I'm using one size smaller than what's on my than the needles I'm using for the project, and that's only because, I mean, it's fine. You can use the size needle that you have if you have an extra DPN, or you can use one size smaller. I don't know if you want to use one size larger, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. So all I'm gonna do is knit the first 2 stitches together, and I will just knit all of the stitches on the needle. And it's important that it's inside out. I think I said that, but yeah, it needs to be inside out because there's going to be a seam on the inside, and you don't want that on the front, on the outside. So knit those together. So insert as if to knit, insert as if to knit, and then I'm knitting 2 at once and pulling that off. So now I've got 2 stitches knit. I'm going to use the back needle, and I'm not going to pull too tightly. I want to kind of keep this somewhat loose, not pulling too tight and not keeping it too loose either, kind of a happy medium. So I'm going to knit each stitch, and as I knit one, use the back needle to pass the previous one over. And I do that all the way until the end. And then when I've passed the needle over for every stitch, I'll get to the end, I'll have 1 loop left. I'll break the yarn and then pull that yarn through the loop and then weave in the end, and you'll be done, and that'll be it. So you just do that all the way across. If you need a more detailed video, or you need to see it done all the way across, there are a number of video tutorials out there on 3 needle bind off. So feel free to go find another one if you would like some extra help. But I hope this was enough to get you started. I just finished the 3 needle bind off, and I'm ready to finish this side. So what I'm going to do is take the needles that I was using before, and I'm going to pick up all of these stitches, the front and the back pieces, and I am going to just make sure that the needles at the end will be facing the same direction like they are now. They could be either this way or that way, it doesn't really matter, but they will be the same direction like this. So I could start picking up stitches, let me see, I could start picking up stitches here and go this way and then work around this way, and then my needles will be facing like that. So I will do the exact same thing that I just did to finish this shoulder, and then weave in the end, and that will be it for the seaming. You can see I just picked up these the other set of shoulders, and then I've got a new tail of yarn started. If you want to leave a long length of tail, you can actually use that to do some finishing work on the inside when you go to sew, if you want to sew steeks to the underside, to the backside, so that they're like neatly seamed on the wrong side. So you just want to start working the exact same way, just with the new strand of yarn. And then that will be the end of this shoulder seam, and you can turn it right side out.